Come on outside. Hey, oh, naughty boy.
I write my own lyrics, but people's experiences write my music.
The first time I heard Ufente on the radio, I could feel that I wanted to cry. He reminded me of his mom.
The message behind what he says for me is the difference.
Jankie has this plan called the 40-year plan.
Valuing yourself, you're actually saying that you're a very important person to yourself.
You play a Jankie track and like it connects with you.
Well, that's Kagiso-born artist Jankie Makopa.
I'm like, welcome to my world. In my world. With my boys. Look relaxed with my girls. In the freedom. It's my world. Yeah. This is my world.
Do your homework and polish your shoes, then you can go play. But now as you get older, you start realizing that, it's actually work before play.
This is my love for you. You're touching my lighter. You're touching her bum bum. You're making me laugh. This is my love for you. Hey, Mr. Who are we? I'm gonna keep it easy. You are this lady, this babe, and you're crazy.
It's more than a career to me, it's a responsibility. Because I met a pass-buyer on a flight. Would you like some tea, coffee, juice, or water, sir? How's your music doing? That's the response I got. Obviously, I was shocked, but he said, nah, don't worry, God wants to speak to people through your music. And at that time, I did not understand it fully. However, the lyrics came about, but then I realized it's not the music in J. It's the presence and the way you talk to people and the way you communicate to people, the motivational speeches, because somebody might not listen to your album, but they can listen to you talk to them and say, hey, I've been through this, and that, don't worry. And they give you that chance because that album is there, very good album, maybe I can pull it on tape. There's people who listen to you because maybe you're dressed in a suit, can be a damn, the one up wearing overall, so you do not know gore o communicate young lebato through that music. So I had to learn that and understand it's not just what I write on that book and what I sing on the mic, it's what I actually say to people when I talk to them as well.
The music, like that's what he believes in. Or like I have to make music. So like that's his passion, I've got footage and images of him on stage which describes his passion. Like you can like this guy is passionate about what he's singing and what he's saying. Like, like the passion is in his music. That's why like his music is of substance and the content irrelevant. That's where the passion I think comes from. Like irreality.
Well, there's one thing about collaboration that a lot of people don't realize is that everybody has their time in life. And once you have your time in life, you need to utilize it to the best of your ability. And we want to help each other grow. And because we are friends, there's more trust rather than is this just business?
I met Jankie back in maybe 2010. I was still a producer back then. So he approached me for us to start a company together, which is called Mawaza Entertainment.
I know Jankie from the neighborhood. You know, I know Jankie growing up as an older brother to me. He's always been there. I know Jankie before pretty much all the music and stuff. You know, I know Jankie from the first time Bakalakwa Studio. I know Jankie evolving into who he is today.
Me and Noah King's relationship got more stronger because now we started understanding each other from a more of a adult to adult relationship rather than kintwanak. We grew close together through music especially, and because he used to be a rapper as well. He used to call himself Deadlock. Flex introduced us to his younger brother Tech. Then Tech programmed my album.
Came as I was spanning, I was 12 a.m. This is our life. Whatever time, we always in studio.
Oh, this is my world. Oh, this is my world.
When you are frustrated or disappointed and you take it out on the people that are helping you, it's easy for them to just say, sharp or sharp going. So I just step away from the situation. Wow, until give a sharp. Don't you have anything new? I'm trying to come up with a new sound for my album. Not too much, not too I just want to move away from just but elevated.
Well, I met Jankie in 2011. I joined this other production house, but then me and Jankie started working around 2012. Because Jankie was already working with somebody else.
What intrigued me about Jankie was his commitment, hard work, you know, to music in general. You know, he's always been an artist from way back, even way before I met him.
I realized that my voice is stronger when I sing in vernac. So I took that. However, at the same time, the rapper part came about when I got advised that I'm a good rapper.
And
that's when the meddling of rapping and singing, and then all of a sudden I'm rapping again, and that's how it came about.
The passion he has is the passion that I have. This is our life. Whatever time, whenever, we always in studio. Like Linda used to go to 12 a.m. It's like, hey dude, I wanna work. Because he started that like that for him. He came as I was spanning 12 a.m. We ended up finishing about 4 a.m. That track at the Nelly message. That was the first track in the Jankie. The first track. You're nearly a stepping stone for okay. This is our foundation.
I sometimes used to leave the studio uniform. I record. I give a And now I think it's a spanning. Oh.
ene na le gore ke sona o tla apara ke a go mosebetsing today ke locally fela ke a bua ka pele ka bona gore something is going on.
Jankie was a flight attendant. For a couple of years, he was working for SAA. So, in this whole journey, he felt like the flight attendant thing wasn't for him. You know, so he quit his job.
On duty, on my breaks, I used to write lyrics, come up with concepts.
I don't think it was spontaneous. I think it was meditated before it happened, you know. I think we spoke about it, he spoke to other people about it.
I understood. For you to actually get in there and put in the time, he had to quit.
My first concert, I was 3 years old. I went to some Komata concert for Holong. And hence the influence. Even if you listen to my music, there's a bit of some Komotanyana. It was a memorable experience because I had never been to something like that before. And if I was not the youngest child there, I was one of the few sitting around the 4th row. So Sankomota came on stage and my mom loved them. It was the group at that time, you know. So my mom even went on stage and danced with them, you know. I think that was one thing that also triggered the music side. However, I wasn't yet clever or mindful enough to know that I'm actually good at this.
One time ra le mo concerting ya Sankomota le teng for atla sa le monyane but o tla gore o tlile music o understand it ya no tsa no sa bona go tsa kae nka sa bona ngwana we a ke re go na le ngwana o montšha mara ka je kana ke batla go feta go sense sa ka ne gaufi o tla re kae ntse gae o fentse ke ngwana ma younger sister kore ke tlile go nna his second mom from the day he was born.
When Malik was pregnant, she was completing midwifery school. And my mom went into labor and she said, well, you've been going to school, this baby's coming now. So she delivered me. That's why we have a special connection. And she delivered a couple of my friends as well.
Yeah, I did travel a lot. So I must look under my care because already that's it employed as me.
My sister, who's her biological daughter, we grew up like Paragamona, you know, we've always been best friends in the family. In terms of stress, Sagara, we were.
And I was a bullet.
It's a bullet. Marakiriano, Haligara, we were.
Well, one of everybody else doesn't have jobs. Come on. So how does that from another country go what I'm saying? So good from that, eh? We're not to do Mukakomena Kamu. No, we have no end and provide. I'm going to be what it is. We have to make a call for that things.
Kepe.
Hey!
I get to Nagara, but I travel free.
One of the saddest moments in my life, when his mom passed away.
Nigel Mama's baby. That's why I was her purse.
Oh, this is my world. Oh, this is my world.
holiday, would go to Botswana, Atle, hang out on Gomafiki. Some holidays would come this side. We shared a lot of ideas with her. More parliament, I ski.
Every day, all day. One of the saddest moments in my life, when his mom passed away.
Nigel mama's baby. I grew up with women VA, so I was always a mama's baby. That's why I was her purse.
And I remember it was one of those few periods in our lives together where we were separated because he had just moved to Botswana and when she died. And I remember the day we returned back, coming back home, and we left him behind.
You know, as a kid, you don't know what to do at first because you're a kid.
It's one thing for your mom to pass away, but it's another when you're in a foreign land with people that you are beginning to know.
What silenced me till today, I never got to say goodbye. With Princess Marina, kids were never allowed. I was 9 years old at that time. Kids were not allowed in the wards. So luckily, she was next to the window and it was on the ground floor. So I could go peek on the window and look at her and all. And then that was the last time I saw my mom alive, you know. Robert, and then she looked at me, I looked at her for a while, and then I left. And then about 3-4 days later, she passed on.
We masculine thing. Oh no, you couldn't read. Or you feel like that.
Because I think I've been a strong person in character. It only changed me later in life as a teenager because now you start realizing similar traits that I have. But there's one thing that she had always kind of instilled in me, and till today, I'm like that do your homework and polish your shoes, then you can go play. But now, at that time, I was young, so I did my homework, I polished my shoes, and I went and played. But now, as you get older, you start realizing that, you know, it's actually work before play, you know.
Ngwanake, thulaganyo. O ne le lesole ko mobidi ya ya Botswana. O na tshameka di instrument.
He passed away 2012. I felt an emptiness in me because he was my musical friend in the family. You know, whenever he was around, would work around something in the studio. You know, and because he was more experienced than me, because now I'm a natural music guy, and he's natural because they're very gifted, and they sing in choirs, they dance and all that. However, he went to school for it, you know, so he was schooling me in a way, you know.
Ha ntse re kopana le bothulaganyo, you know, ra ithuta gore okay ra tshwana, you know, rata music, ba itse bina, ba itse go jive, you know. And thulaganyo le my brother ba nne a special bond, and more so because wow there, and that musical bond, yeah, you know,
out of having a family that sings in choirs and that sings Kokori Kereke and all that, we were the ones that wanted to take the music to the streets. It might be a bit of an upliftment for others and for ourselves, you know. Let's become pioneers of the family. The studio is my refuge. That's where I get to express my emotions if I'm in a party mood. But I want to be alone. I get those, like, I just feel like being happy alone. Without anybody, I just want to be happy alone. The studio is where I go, and I will express it. Whether I'm sad, I'll express it.
He knows his musical background. Not like Batu Abang Khabatse, and I felt like, hey, I need something. What do you have in mind? I asked them, what do you have in mind? They don't have anything, like they're blank, so they expect you to start something from scratch. But with Jankie, he knows what he wants, and he's gonna get it.
The verse, starts here. Okay. And then it's not gonna be happy.
For Jankie, he feeds off other people's energy. So if the producer is chill, he'll be more chill. But mostly he doesn't really like being all over the place, you know. You can't even hear him when he writes. He just writes, mumbles, you know, the lyrics. You won't even tell what he's saying.
It takes a beautiful mind and a happy heart to cross the continents of the world.
I left Mawaza. I didn't leave on a good note though, because it wasn't a happy decision to make. But I had no choice because we were stuck. None of us had the resources or the financial capacity to get this album to be brilliant. So I signed on to it.
Fallout, like we had a fight. Now you're doing this, now you're doing that, you're doing this. So he got approached by his current label, you know, like, okay, sharp, because he quit his job. That's when everything just broke out. Like, okay, so you quit your job. You're not even gonna give us time for outsource the manager anything. So after that meeting, because we're meeting out that thing, and we were all there. So it's like, okay, dude, like, decide what you want, because so you're impatient. So then he decided to leave.
At that point in time, while he was still recording the project, I remember we were still friends, even though there were some difficulties in the relationship. I was always encouraging him that you must remember one thing: you're not only doing this for yourself, you must also think of other people behind you and who are supporting you. If you would quit now, you've quitted your job. Now if you quit this music thing, then you would have disappointed a lot of people. You know, because of this is creating employment for other people as well. You know, that we have a lot of people from the Western that we work with, you know, in terms of DJs, promoters and all of that, you know, events coordinators, salesmen. So if we quit, now it means other people cannot feed their families also. So he had to become a man and say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this thing. You know, whether or not it works, at least I'd rather fail knowing that I've tried. You know, but with all the support he has from other people, there was no way I was gonna let him quit.
It has taken a long time for a CD to come out. The actual product, touching it, you know, feeling. And the first time we got it, we were on our way to Botswana, Mama. We drove it. I don't know, for some reason, Mama kept on saying, sing a CD and that, sing a CD and that. And I was like, yeah, man, wait, I'm driving, wait, I'm doing this. And I got a chance to, you know, open the cover just as we crossed the border into Botswana. You know, the moment you get to understand what it means, that it's the land where his mom is. It's the land that has shaped a lot of who he is today.
In studio, he just chills, takes his corner, and then writes the song.
We've talked about not boxing, what he does. Also, like he prefers to use the word world music. So as to say, like, you know what, I'm here for a bigger platform. I don't want to be defined to just a hip-hop market or a jazz market, but if I'm saying world music, then I can be anywhere in the world and still play this music for the world.
I wrote my songs out of personal experience and out of second person perspective. A lot of people go through sometimes, they're like, yo, or you pick up something from somewhere, hey, that would be a nice. And some people don't actually know that even when I am having a conversation with you, you say something and a song pops up immediately with your phrase. Like, hey, that's a nice catchy phrase. The 4-year plan is a plan designed to develop young kids.
His ultimate thing is ultimately for the young ones behind him.
Oh, this is my world. Oh, this is my world.
Music is special because it's written by other people. I don't know. I write my own lyrics, but people's experiences write my music. My own experiences write my music. Hence, I say there's a song for everybody in that album. You will play the whole album and not skip a song because it's an emotional journey.
Well, that's Kagiso-born artist Jankie Makopa, who, like many artists, was born in a family of choir singers and became a solo singer in the church choir. He joins us now to tell us about his latest offering, Phala. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live. We just had a chat now earlier that all along, it wasn't an album when you came out in the industry. I mean, connect the dots for us. How did that come about and then get to Phala?
Well, it was in the process of being released. I was working with a couple of artists, and as you mentioned, DJ Maporesa and Busiswa. I've worked with DJ Clock as well. So during that process, we were just, putting our heads together and just collecting everything and just coming up with this.
The first time I heard Ofente mo radio Vasco Metro, ka show ya the 12 o'clock show, ya Paul. And I remember Nikia Kayalani. I remember even the spot I was in. I'm not very emotional, so I could feel that I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. And the reason why, he reminded me of his mom. Honali, it's one of my favorite songs in the album, Relevance. And she loved Sankomota. And so it has that element of Sankomota in it.
You can hear that his music was influenced by gospel, your Sankomotas, your Brahu, Brathe, Botola, so most of his music has a message to it, because he always says it's been a calling. Tracks like Boba Tobakai, Mesatare, Basiman, we're talking about different things,
Family music. Because I had rap, you can play it in the car when you're with your family. Instead of papa o simolotse ka di-jazz tsa go mama eng a bona le mama ga o a tshameka rape fela ge bafana ba lona ba lapisa bona, but when you put them together they both enjoy it. And I've had that quite a lot. People say, hey, my mom loves your album and
musicians can all try to reach the same chord or be on the same beat and stuff, but the message behind what he says for me is the difference with him. Well, I think you play a Jankie track and like it connects with you. You know, he's not saying get a car, get a house, and you know, but he's saying khwediya fela, you know, you're getting statements you must pay. Like he's realistic.
I took 5 years to complete this song, you know, and it's worth it. It doesn't like 2013. No. It's time will come. If you never finish it, it's time will come. Relax, step away from the song. When you come back, you've been through so many things. You start picking up on, oh yeah, that. The 4-year plan is a plan designed to improve, to develop young kids.
We have many conversations about development. You know what I'm saying? He's got like all these ideas about 40-year plan, how to mentor school kids and so forth. So like his ultimate thing is ultimately for the young ones behind him.
Yeah, no, she's saying 1, 2, 3.
From a young age, a very young age, from even crash eventually, but we're gonna start at primary school level. We are creating a chain reaction of mentors and developers through arts and culture and sports.
By the time that plan reaches its 4th year, he would be old. So he wants for it to move from generation to generation to generation. So today we went to a school called Madiba, you know, where he went there just to give his time, you know, to talk to the students there, the matriculants.
Who can tell me here who's the most important person in Malefati? Ignorance is there, Gada. Kema, yourself, right? And you guys are absolutely right. The most important person in Malefati, because one thing that you need to learn about yourself is the value that you obtain and the value that you have. We never had the privilege of having mentors, collocation. A lot of people that have made it in Kokasi have left. And we are still left with the same problem. Another generation, we are left with the same problem. We are left with the same problem. So, giving motivational talks, you're trying to show these kids, I'm not saying stay in the township. What I'm saying is when you achieve, help out where you can so that we do not have, it's like we need to break the circle of crime or the circle of violence, the circle of drug abuse. Some of you grew up without parents, maybe. Some of you maybe grew up being abused. Some of you are going through challenges. So valuing yourself, you're actually saying that you're a very important person to yourself. And being an important person to yourself, that means you respect others. You can look next to you. In 10 years' time, some of you won't be around. Some of you won't have jobs. Some of you, some of you will be doctors maybe. And some of you might be even pilots. But at the same time, if you don't value yourself, you never achieve those things. And I'll make a practical example. In the past 10 years, I've been to 18 countries, lived in 2 of them, 1 overseas. And it's because I did not disrespect any of my teachers. I'll make an example. Go grade 8, we had a demerit card for school. Every time you got naughty, never go. 2 months, I didn't have a demerit. When my friends why I don't have a demerit, I said because I wanted to be a prefect. They laughed. 5 years later, I was their prefect and the most strict prefect in my school. And not because I come or a boss or no or anything. I wanted to show others that if you aim far, it's possible to get there. Not only overseas, because there's a lot of motivational talks that kind of teach you, or I need to be able to achieve this. And when you achieve it, don't say in 5 years' time, give yourself some room.
Him being successful is about everyone else as well being successful below him, you know? So like his thing is about paving the way for the people that are to come behind him.
I had a friend, my best friend, died in jail because of drugs, and he was very brilliant at soccer. One, he played for Kaizer Chiefs when he was 12 years old. They liked him so much, on his bad day, he was a midfielder, they will put him with defense, they will put him as a striker because of he had that thing in him and at least a positive energy around. But with some location, he was supposed to avoid the Muslims. He started dating an older girl than him. Because she lady free, Kaizer Chiefs clothes, Zaganyana. And then he got involved with the wrong friends. He can't come back. When you're something like a soccer player, you can't come back and you're already 25 years old. The older you grow, you need to move up with your age.
I learned that I should follow my dreams, follow whatever that I want to achieve in life. Be specific about what I want to achieve.
Ke ithutile go tshwanetse ke nne independent go ke value tse tsotlhe tse ke di ratang ntho e ke e batlang ke e lata tsone ke sa sala ka se di sacrifice tshwanetse ke di shaya tsone so ke batla nna actor, director, producer le ntshwena le script writer.
Your mama told me do the right thing and she said do it right. Of course
I learned that when you want to become something in life, you can become it through hope, and if you believe in yourself, and you have to have a value in life.
I gotta be passionate about myself and reach what I want. Y'all are making toast, my niggas making money. Haters getting beefy while we busy making money. But not the
What's up? Go. Just think, rap that mama verse, visualize your lyrics. Visualize. Yeah, but don't just say you're doing it last time. Relax, breathe. We to share guy. Share camera le photo in. Look above the head.
They talking about me these days, I think I'm their topic. I swear to God, they won't stop me there in traffic. I am classic to my music, don't confuse it, I am logic. When I grind for my meal, my whole life I've been real. To the Lord I do kneel. If you feel me, take a shot, my vision is my jackpot. Hey, your mama told me do the right thing and she said do it right. Of course my future be bright, cause God be by my side. For my haters information, thanks for the motivation. We like to say, keep on hating cause that motivates me. God never go down me, even forsake me. And go and give it out till I grab my dreams with both hands. Clearly it takes action, clearly it takes passion. Commitment to reach for a dream.
I am 100% sure that I'm gonna make it this year.
He'll make an impact in the music industry.
I want to see him succeeding, yet finding that balance of keeping who he is.
From where I come from, you need to put a bullet in my head to put me down.
Oh, this is my world. Oh, this is my world.
I need to be able to achieve this, and when you achieve it, don't say in 5 years' time, give yourself some room. Give yourself some room, because once you become strict with certain things, like especially time, when you become self-strict with time, when you don't reach that thing in that time, it can destroy you.
If I say think, I'd be doubting it. So I'd say I know he'll make an impact in the music industry. To what extent, what the future holds, I don't know. But and it's not only up to him, but it's also up to us to make that impact bigger or stronger, as his team, But I know his music will have an impact.
Straight me. E re ga tswa go a ya go pela re tsore e tlile go mmusetsa le le tso santse le ngwana a nyale a tlogele mmele mo ntlong le bana mme a tshepagala a sa re ire lo se fe ke mmusetsa.
Oh wow, I want his dreams to come true. His journey in the music industry hasn't been smooth. Like we talk about it with my husband, and he says like, yo, he loves music. We're into music big time. And he says, like you listen to all sorts of things, and he should be up there. So my wish is that his plan comes to fruition. More than anything, I pray that he gets to understand fully his purpose, his greatness, his potential, and that he can actually hone it, work on it, and sharpen it so that he's the best, and he finds tools and ways to actually get it to happen. I wish for him a balanced life, because this industry can be harsh, it can be hectic. So it's part of those things where I want to see him succeeding, yet finding that balance of keeping who he is and not letting the world get to him, or the industry really get to him.
I like to be a big influence in Africa. But however, God has his own plan, so I can't get it. I remember I once asked that same question, somebody asked me, when are you going to feel successful? Success is an ongoing process. How long you know the day I die? My body will be 6 feet under. Then I'll know how much I've achieved. However, I let those achievements, can I look at one, hey, I've achieved this, I've achieved that. But in 10 years' time, even in the past 12 years, I've been to 18 countries, done theater, done music, anything is possible. I can maybe be an Oscar winner, I don't know, a Grammy winner, I don't know, anything can happen. Because you can look at other artists in a space of a year, boom, big house, nice cars, getting married. Babang, they're very fast when they earn, but now I take my time to achieve. But in 10 years' time, I'd like to see the 4-year plan 7 years in progress.
I think he's in the right place. I'd like to see him doing more within the industry. I think that's what he's, that's what he's called for. If you had seen him right at the start doing this sketch, go crash school, back in youth band, every time I see him perform, that's him. that's what he's called here on earth to do. It's how he gets, it's part of the journey. I can see him presenting, I can see him acting. He's very good. That he might be my brother, and maybe I'm biased, but that I believe 100%. He is where he's supposed to be.
I went to 5 primary schools, lost a mother. I had a dad who was absentee. I had so much that could have brought me down, but I have a good family. So I look back and say, if I could spend all this time with so more cruise control on me, so nothing will bring me down, and I'm just walk, so, and now jet fuel is permanent. About the day I'll rest, maybe the day I die. But from where I come from, you need to put a bullet in my head to put me down. That's it.
Beyond tlhaloganyo mata a fedile ka ke nna simone fatshe